Hey guys, it's Crazy Comic Lady here, and these were some ATC commissions that I got from Kitty Catche on Instagram, and the commission was to do the full Eeveelution set as little chibi ATC cards. So these were a lot of fun to do, and if you've been following me on Instagram, you'll know that I've been kind of trying to work my way through the first 151 Pokemon, like creating them as little chibi ATC card things. So yeah, I've got up to I think I did Beedrill. Beedrill was the last one I did. But yeah, Kitty Catche wanted me to do the full Eeveelution set. So I had a lot of fun doing these, and I gave them all slightly different coloured Pokeballs. And when I was doing Eevee, I wasn't 100% sure what colour I wanted the border around the Pokemon to be, because I kind of had the thought of I could try and do it as a rainbow colour, so that it sort of matches all the possibilities that that Eevee could evolve into, because all the other Eeveelutions have matching coloured borders to represent their type and stuff. So yeah, I saved that till last. So I finished off with doing the border on Eevee, and yeah, so these were a lot of fun to do, and I'll have to redo myself a set when I get around to doing the Eevee set for myself. And yeah, so this was Flareon, and I love Flareon. Flareon is my favourite Eeveelution. I think it was the very first Eeveelution I ever had in my game in Pokemon Blue, back when there was only 3. And it was my favourite because it kind of looked like a fox, and it was fire, and I've always adored fire types, and I was always really annoyed because there was never that many fire types in Pokemon. Well, I don't know, if you compare to water types, there's so many water types in Pokemon, and the fire types were always a bit whatever. I don't like monkeys, so when they introduced that fire monkey starter, I was so disappointed. And yeah, and I never really liked Magmar, because Magmar's kind of ugly. So these are Vaporeon and Glaceon, and when I did the line art for Glaceon, I didn't like it very much. I don't know if maybe it's because Glaceon is my least favourite Eeveelution, and I think that was because when I had the original games, the Silver and Blue and Crystal and all of that, I had so many Eeveelutions, because they introduced that breeding center thing in Pokemon Silver and Gold, and I was because I was quite young, I was obsessed with breeding Eevees, and I'd trade them over to my Blue game so that I could evolve them and then trade them back, and I don't know, fun times. And then I got a cheat cartridge for my game, which I still have, so I had tons of shiny Eeveelutions as well. I just had a whole box of Eeveelutions. Anyway, so yeah, I had the first 6 Eeveelutions when I was a kid, so I got really used to them, and I really loved Vaporeon because it could use ice moves. So when they introduced Glaceon, I was a bit well, we didn't really need an ice type Pokemon because we have Vaporeon and he can do ice type moves, so why would you need an actual ice Pokemon? I don't know, it just seemed weird to me. And when I was inking Glaceon, my hand slipped when I was doing the nose, so the nose ends up being slightly bigger than all the other ATCs. He has a slightly bigger nose, but actually after I finished colouring it, it became my favourite one out of all the ATCs, and I don't know why. I think it's just something about the colours. I really liked the greeny blues, and once I finished colouring it, I went in with a white gel pen, and I added some little spots to look a bit icy snow flecks on him, and I really liked the way that ended up turning out. So yeah, I can't remember what kind of ball that was that I gave the Glaceon. I pulled up an image on Google of all the different Pokeballs, and I was just picking ones that look cool. So here's Jolteon. Jolteon's one of my favourite evolutions as well, because in my story, I have like a little Pokemon story, and I know I've mentioned this before, but I think it was a long time ago in a really old video. I have a Jolteon that evolves by accident because a electric... Is it called an electric stone? Lightning stone. I'm having a Pokemon block. I can't remember names of things. Anyway, he runs into like a cabinet, and this stone falls on his head, and he evolves accidentally, and he ends up being like really upset and becomes really disobedient and grumpy. So I gave him a Master Ball because, like, in my story, Jolteon would totally have to have a Master Ball because he was so disobedient and bad-tempered and tried to electrocute people all the time. So I just kind of wanted to give him a Master Ball, and Kitty Catche didn't mind like what Pokeballs I used. She said I could just pick anything, because I checked with her first. I asked if she wanted like any like specific Pokeballs for any of the Pokemon, and she told me just to go ahead and give them different ones. So yeah, Jolteon got a Master Ball, because yeah, in my little story, like, he really wanted to become a Vaporeon because he like had a crush on like a female Vaporeon, and so he was really upset that he ended up being a Jolteon, and he was sad, and he accidentally electrocuted her because he put his paw in the water and it conducts electricity, and yeah. So anyway, that's my story of how of my Jolteon called Jolt. But yeah, so this was Espeon, and yeah, I don't have much to say about Espeon. Like, Espeon's an okay, I guess, evolution. I liked Espeon more than I liked Umbreon, because like in the games, like, I felt like Umbreon just had really weak attacks in Gold, Silver and Crystal, so like I never had Umbreon in my team a whole lot. Yeah, with Espeon, like, I'm not good with purples. Blending purples for me is really hard. I think I don't know, like, there just doesn't seem to be enough like purple Letraset markers, and I don't know, they didn't seem to want to blend very well with like the Copic purples, and yeah. But anyway, I gave Espeon a little heart love ball because that's like my favourite Pokeball, because it's pink and it's got a heart on it, and I'm just so girly like that. And I gave Umbreon, I think it's called a moon ball. I'm not entirely sure. Like, I've never seen a moon ball before in like any of the games, but I'm not very like familiar with like the more recent games, but I thought it was kind of a cool Pokeball that would kind of work for him. And he's only two of the evolutions I drew with like coloured eyes, and that was I keep forgetting their names. Umbreon, because like he has red eyes in the thing, and if I'd done him like in black, then they weren't gonna like show up because he was black. So yeah, so this is Leafeon. And I actually really like Leafeon. I remember like the Pokemon Leafeon, because like in the original games I was always a bit like, there really should be like a grass Pokemon, because it just seems strange to me that they didn't have a grass evolution in that first game. So I was like really happy when they did bring out Leafeon like in the later games, except they brought it out in... It was like the 3rd gen game, and that was a game like I stopped playing on, so I never actually like I've never had a Leafeon in my team, but I think it's really cute. However, I really don't like how this ATC turned out, because his body, I think, is way too fat. Just, there's something that looks off about it, and I tried to give him kind of cute little eyes, so it looks a bit like he's squinting a little bit, so I put like a little dip at the bottom, and I don't know, something about it is... I wasn't too happy with that one, but I gave him a little safari ball. But yeah, I found that pretty cool, that cool picture on Google of all the different Pokeballs you can get, and like, I swear most of them, like, I've never even heard of like half the Pokeballs that you can get, and I don't know, you can get like different lure balls and plasma balls and all sorts, and I'm just like, yeah, my Pokemon knowledge is so retro. I don't know modern Pokeball things. Like, I swear, like, I had Pokemon Y, like the X and Y gen games, but I don't remember like these Pokeballs in them at all. Like, I think this Pokeball is supposed to be like a dream Pokeball, and I thought that it would go kind of well with Sylveon, because it was pink and Sylveon's pink. So I actually kind of like how this one came out because it's so pink and I'm such a girl. But yeah, so I posted these off and hopefully they will turn up with Kitty Cat Shay eventually. And yeah, you can send me a message if you want to commission me to do some Chibi Pokemon ATCs. But yeah, when I posted them, like I put like a little doodle on the package of a little Chibi Rattata, and the woman who at the shop, she ended up like she put a sticker, like a custom sticker, right over my doodle, and I was like, well, clearly you have no appreciation of art. I didn't say that because that would have been like really rude, but I kind of was like, ah, my doodle, no, never mind. So yeah, I did like their little rainbow border on Eevee, which I really like. I wish I'd done that on like I've got my own Eevee card because I've been trying to make a set for myself, and I didn't do it on my one. I just had a plain yellow border on mine, and I think the rainbow border looks way better than just a plain border. So anyway, I really hope you like your commission, Kitty Cat Shay, and thank you all for watching so much. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate all the comments and likes and everything, and you guys are awesome, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.